Hello, how are you? It's Empowering Monday, and I'm so glad to be here for the 5th week in a row. So I'm really excited to share some more stuff with you today. We've been talking about what does personal growth mean to me. And so this week, what we're going to talk about is another one of the gaps of why people don't go and start working on their own personal growth. And so the last one that we're going to talk about today is the inspirational gap. So it's the I just don't feel like doing it. Have you ever felt that way? I mean, not me, right? I won't tell you how much I have felt this over the years, but what makes the difference is I don't let it stop me, or at least it's momentary. And so what I've realized is that motivation isn't going to strike you like lightning. Carol Burnett had a quote that the only one who can change my life, no one can do it for me. And so you actually have to. Hi, Curtis. Thanks for joining me. Hi, Cassidy. The only person who can do that is actually me. And I can't rely upon somebody else to motivate me. So, I went out and knowing I was going to talk about this, I went out and did another Google search. And what I realized is when you pop in inspirational quotes, you get like 6.5 million responses. If you go out and Google motivation quotes, you get 2.5 million. So I'm guessing is that people really need some motivation. And Debbie needed to hear this. Oh, I love you too, Cassidy. And that if we need 2.5 million quotes, and if we have 6.5 million things that come up when we Google inspiration, I think that's telling us something, that people really want somebody to be more responsible for changing what they're doing. So what happens with the inspirational gap when you start thinking, I don't feel like doing it, is that once you start doing something, you realize I probably should be doing this. Maybe that's what gets you started. And once you get going, that's actually where your motivation comes from. Have you guys done this? I know I'm not the only one. And it's one of those really powerful things. Once you start doing something and focusing on something, it just becomes easier. So last week I had been researching some things, and so I decided I was going to do a water fast. And you might have some views on that, but I thought, oh, I'm going to do a water fast. I checked with my doctor. He's like, oh, that would be great. And so I started. And everybody was around me was like, wow, how are you going to do that? How are you going to not eat for a couple days? And I had a lot of nutrients in my water and coffee. Never, Curtis. And what I did is I did it, and it wasn't even hard. And then on the second day, right, I'm on 2 full days of just doing water and coffee and some other liquids. And the Girl Scout cookies were ordered, and I think I had 8 or 12 boxes. Now, if you know me, see, I just get excited thinking about those Thin Mints. And I looked at them, and they just weren't all that appealing. And I was really committed to doing this 3-day water fast, and I felt really great about it. And I kept telling myself, oh, this is easy peasy. And the longer I went in those 3 days, the easier it got. And because I was motivated, I didn't let my own inspiration stop me from taking those steps. And so when you think about something in your life, Thin Mints, I know. So today I was eating, so I ate some Thin Mints today. And if you open the Thin Mints, you just don't have one. You got to eat the whole container. But luckily, they're smaller containers now. I don't know if you guys have gotten your Girl Scout cookies, but I got a couple hookups if you guys need them here. All over the place. I got a hookup in the San Diego area. I got some out here in Laramie. So anyway, I'll get distracted about Girl Scout cookies. But have you ever started something, and as you get going, you just keep going with it. And right before you're going to start to see some benefits, you actually stop. Maybe it's a relationship you're working with. Maybe it's something going on at work. Maybe it's a financial goal. Maybe it's an educational goal. Maybe you're trying to improve your relationship with your parents or your kids or your grandkids, your boss. And just when you start to see the results, we stop. Now, if you just keep going at least 12 months on working towards something, it is scientifically proven that you'll start feeling that your own inspiration, and you can get past the inspiration goal of just not wanting to do something. And so Nike, really took that just do it, right? Because sometimes you just need to do it. Sometimes when you don't know how to do something, you get stuck. And so one of the questions I have for you this week is, where do you want to see different results in your life? Maybe it's romance, health, your family. Where do you want to see different results? And the Albert Einstein famous quote about insanity. The definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So what are you doing over and over and you think something's going to happen differently? So recently I had to walk through the inspiration gap too on an education that I'm working on. So I've been working on my master's since 2013, and with life happens and I've had to put it on hold, and for the last 2 years I've been putting on hold. I have 4 stinking classes, okay guys, 4 classes left to finish this degree, and I haven't done it. So I went through this whole process, took about 5 months with my school, and tomorrow I start my 4 classes. So in 6 months I'll be done with my master's. And see, Lily's even excited over that. But why did I couldn't get my own inspiration gap. I couldn't get out of my own way. But I knew it was something I should do. It's something that I've been wanting to do. And so, Curtis, you're struggling with your marketing. Well, I've gotten pretty good at that. So, but you get stuck. We get stuck. So if you ask yourself, what do you want to do differently and get different results in your life, but you're not sure how? So that's one of the reasons I kind of started this 5 weeks ago, is to go through and give you questions to start thinking about what it is that you want to focus on. Where's an area? It doesn't have to be multiple areas. This isn't a New Year's resolution. Let's take one area. Just one area that you can actually focus on, so you don't get overwhelmed, you don't get stuck, you don't feel like I'm not making any progress, because it's almost like a seed. You have to plant it and water it, and over time it will start to grow, but it really grows underneath the soil. You don't see it for a while. You don't see what is actually happening because you are investing in yourself and improving yourself and doing personal development. And so what area do you want to see different results on? And are you feeling stuck? Are you feeling, well, I don't know how to do this? I mean, that's pretty common. It's a pretty common thing for us to feel that way. So you just can't get yourself motivated. You don't know how much time it's going to take. So is this what is stopping you from going after and making your changes? I know we've talked about assumption gap, the knowledge gap, the timing gap, the mistake gap, or the perfection gap. But maybe yours is the inspiration. You're waiting for that lightning to strike you. Well, I can tell you, if I had waited for lightning to strike me, I wouldn't be where I am today. Because if you look back to where I was 25 years ago, this was not the place I was at all. And my life is so much better. So Cassidy, no being stuck. I've been watching this from the parking lot at a new yoga studio that I've been trying. Felt unmotivated. Like, what the heck am I doing? Kind of feeling until I watched this. Thank you. Thank you, Cassidy. You can do this. You're like the yoga queen. I mean, you just went to Costa Rica, honey. You're amazing. I've seen your videos. You just got to keep going. Thanks, Dan. See ya. Go to that yoga class, Cassidy. Go do it, you know, because you're going to have your own yoga studio and you're going to be motivating others. So just walking through what that feels like when you don't feel so motivated. You know, where are you spending your time? You know, sometimes we think about we don't feel like doing it because we don't have the time. Well, one thing that you could go look at if you're wanting to go find some time is emails. Now, I have about 5 or 6 emails that I have because of my business, and I have weekly have to go through and unsubscribe to things because right now I don't have the time to read them. And when I'm reinterested, I can go back. Now that saves me pretty large amount of time every week just getting rid of those things so that I don't just keep passing it. And then I have all these unread things, and then I start feeling like, well, what am I doing here? This is kind of taking me away from what I wanted to do. And so when you look at, you know, what don't you feel like doing, but you want different results, what's in your way, you know, where do you want to see the different results at? So if you believe you should and you hope it would make a difference, just do it, okay? Go after the Nike expression and just do it. Because really, as Albert Einstein said, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but expecting different results. So look at an area. Look at an area in your life where you have started something where you weren't feeling so great about it. What was that? What caused you to do that? And tap into that part of yourself. Tap into that part of yourself that knew you needed to do this, you needed to make a change, and you just did it. Doesn't mean it's easy. You know, it's not always easy to change. The only person who really likes change is a wet baby. That's my joke. Ba-dum-ba-bum. And because change isn't something that somebody else can do for us, we have to own that change. We have to be the person who says, enough's enough. I don't feel like doing this, but I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do it. So what is stopping you from just doing something that you know you want different results on? So that's what I would ask you to go think about for yourself this week. And I'm so excited that you guys have all joined me. And hi, Val. And know that I'm here, and if you want some support in this, that's what I'm here for. So I'm actually putting together this monthly program, really super affordable, to have a space, to have some really in-depth monthly coaching calls where there's things that we can go through and you can get that support of what it is that you're wanting to change. And so still coming together, probably be a couple more weeks, maybe 2 more weeks, and then I'll post a link to where you can go look about it. So, wow, that's great, Curtis. Well, congratulations for getting your coaching certificate as well as joining a mastermind group. That's fabulous. That is fabulous. I know I love my mastermind group that I'm doing. So anyway, I'll leave you with those words. If you want me to help support you in this journey, or you're trying to figure out where you can get unstuck, you know I'm always here. Just ping me. And I get a lot of fulfillment out of helping you down a journey that I've been going down for 20-odd years. So love you guys. You have a wonderful evening. And if you feel so inclined, if you hit wow, so I knew you were here and where you were at all across the world. Okay, still in San Diego, huh? Oh my gosh, Curtis, I miss you so much. You have a good evening. You are awesome too, Curtis. Thanks. So see you next Monday. Love you guys.